All right, welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Josh. We're here in the old card shop. This is going to be a fun video. I want to talk about something that's happening in the market right now. Well, it's always happening, but a lot of it's happening right now, and we're seeing it specifically happen with these cards. Full Art Pokemon Trainer. So this is going to be a Pokemon video. This is going to talk about some of the other card games as well and some of the other markets. You can apply this to any TCG, but this is going to be talking a lot about Pokemon here. So what's happening right now in the market is there are a lot of buyouts happening, a lot of market manipulation, a lot of movement in general in the market, and we're seeing this specifically in full art trainers, in trainer Pokemon combo cards from Cosmic Eclipse and other recent sets. Limited sets in general are on the rise, and I do see this happening in other markets as well, like the Flesh and Blood market with the first edition print run booster boxes, as well as some of the cold foils, and as well as in the Magic market, the Magic world, we're seeing a lot of reserve list buyouts. And reserve list is just a set of cards. It's limited print run, or not limited, but they promise to sort of never reprint, and so when you buy into the reserve list, it's an old card that you know is not going to get reprinted or printed to the ground like they've been doing with any of these other cards, and that sort of drives the value down. So basically with a buyout, what you're targeting are cards, what people are targeting are cards that are desirable but also somewhat limited on the print, so that when you buy them and buy a large chunk of them, you can actually hold sort of a percentage of the market, or at least a large chunk of the market have a position on it. And so right now we're seeing a lot of market buyouts for things like full art trainers. This card in particular, the Pokemon Center Lady, is from the most recent Pokemon set that was just released, Vivid Voltage. It was, $10-15 for the longest time, and I think that was about right for where the value of what it was. It's not a useful card in playing. I'm sure it's great in some decks. It's casual for playing, but it's not a competitive card. So there's no reason for it to be at the $30, $35, $40 that it is right now, besides the fact that it's one of these little cutesy waifu anime characters, and you get the waifu tax on it. So there's a lot of buyouts happening with those cards in particular, and so if you have any of those in your collection sitting around, you may want to pull them out and then set them aside. Now, this is something that you could definitely have called. A lot of people are saying that YouTube influencers are causing this manipulation, and that's definitely something that I've seen happen. But I don't think this is particularly what's happening with this phenomena. Twice Baked Jake, another YouTuber, just made a video about this, holding like the Lily card. He bought a PSA 10 Lily for $800. And people are saying in that video it somehow manipulated the market and made people want to buy more of them. But to put it bluntly, I don't think that Jake has that type of clout. I love his videos, and I think that he has like 50,000 subscribers, and he holds some sway, a large sway for sure. But I don't think he has that type of clout. First of all, if he bought it for $800 as a PSA 10, it would have taken about maybe a week to ship to him, and he probably was looking at that price point. He said it in his own video that he never thought he'd spend that money on that particular card, but he probably took some time thinking about it as well. And so there's no way that in a matter of overnight he could have manipulated the market that much. It was already expensive and on the rise when he bought that $800 card. So it's also something that I personally could have probably told you or should have seen, because I list actively on TCG Player about 2,000-3,000 cards in my shop. So if you guys want to go support me right now before the website, first of all, like and subscribe, please. The Old Card Shop. Love your support. Helps me keep going here and get a little boost to the confidence, getting a little extra supporters. No, but if you do want to support us and you want to buy something from us, our card shop is on TCG Player, the Old Card Shop. Just look me up. And I've got about 2,000-3,000 listings right now in my shop, mostly Pokemon and Magic. I'm going to start incorporating Flesh and Blood as well. But definitely, I should have seen this coming, because just in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've seen a steady uptick in full art trainer purchasing. Now, for the longest time, probably had 10, 15 full art trainers on my website out of all those cards, which that alone should show you how rare they are, and because those are mostly personal pulls for me that I just post on the website. So out of all of those pulls, I only had maybe 10 or 15 that weren't in my personal collection that I felt like I could put on the website. And so, firstly, they're pretty rare. And so I had them up for reasonable prices, you know, sub $10, $15 on most of them, just because they're the only ones I had that was competitive pricing. And I should have seen, because there was a significant uptick in purchasing of all those cards. But you know, I wasn't paying attention to that. I had a lot of other things on the mind. I'm opening up the old card shop here. Some good news. Just got my first business stamp here. Don't need to go too close, but that's our business stamp. Now, I was handwriting the address, or you know, printing the address on things forever, and so that's going to make things really fun. But back to the video. So I've been busy with other things though, the business, other types of things. So I haven't had a chance to really watch those types of upticks in the market. But if you're actively involved selling, you probably could have seen this happening. So, in other words, just be aware these things are happening. I don't think we should throw anyone under the bus and blame any YouTubers in particular for making these market changes. I don't think that there are many of us who have that kind of clout. These things have just been happening, and the Pokemon market in general is very fragile and very young. And young markets have a tendency to have the ability to be manipulated. And so that leads me to sort of my next part of this video. I do have a story associated with buyouts, because this is something that I personally experienced. Unintentionally, I think I have been involved with a market buyout before. I'm looking up here because I have a binder that I want to switch positions on the camera and showcase. But yeah, I have a story to tell about a personal experience I had involving a buyout that I think I might have potentially either kickstarted or finished, because now the card that I was targeting, which I was buying between $2 and $3. Well, let's just say it's about $15 to $20 a card now if you want to buy that. So it's sort of a difficult thing, but you know, I'd like to share my experience with you guys. So let's switch camera angles and go ahead and check out this binder. All right, here we are on a different camera angle. Do you like my new playmat here? Well, it's not new, it's an old playmat, but I decided to swap it out. Everyone's using the Marty mat right now, so I feel like a couple people are using this mat, but it's one of my personal favorites. This is, I think, the Generations playmat from the Premium Collection or something like that. But anyway, I'm back. Let's go ahead and talk about something here. Let's talk about market buyouts. So I just want to show you something here that I've been hiding from the world for quite some time. This is a little binder that I've been putting together, but now that it's sort of happened and the buyout, or the quote-unquote buyout, has occurred, I'm not getting this card for cheap any longer. So I can talk about it, and it's not like I'm a big YouTuber and I have any sort of clout whatsoever, so it's not like anyone's going to read this and I think undercut and sort of buy out the whole market. If you do, kudos to you. Let's check out my position on this card. So when you're making, I don't know, when you're collecting and making sort of purchases, personally, one of the first things that I look for are things that I love. And so when I first started collecting the Pokemon TCG, when I got back to the TCG back in, earlier this year at the beginning of the pandemic, I found my collection. And in my collection, well, I found part of my collection, but in that collection, I found sort of a couple cards that I thought were really fun and really cool, that I remembered very distinctively from when I was younger. That I found again and felt a very strong nostalgia towards. And so this is one of those cards that you see a lot, and you see a lot of in collections. Everyone's got one or two, and it always really, I enjoyed it. It's the artwork is just really pretty. So here we go, let's dive in. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the hobby here. This is a card that the EV promo, Wizards of the Coast Black Star promo number 11. They've been, this has been in the hobby since the early days. I think they gave this out for tournament play or league play. When you were playing in the Pokemon TCG League, the Pokemon League back in the old days, they'd give you like a little stamp and badge, but you'd also get cards like this card and the Mew card. And this was one of the coolest promos I think they ever gave out. And so this is just, I think, just beautiful art. You know, you get the holographic that has the 3 different colors on it, representing Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, the 3 different evolutions of Eevee at that time. It's the first holographic rare Eevee that they ever put out. It's a beautiful promo. Our Black Star promo has that black promo mark there. I just think the artwork is gorgeous. And it's just one of those cards that really hits me. And so for the longest time, I was buying this card I couldn't believe it. Anywhere under $5. You know, I started buying it about $2. I bought all the $2, $3 EVs I could find on TCG Player and eBay. And then I started working my way up until I decided that I'd buy any card under $10. And so I started working through the market, and I bought out every card that I could, even in big lots on eBay. Whenever I got spare money, I just buy a couple more EVs, and until I had, you know, a heavy position of them. Until eventually one day I looked back at the market and there were no more EVs left. Now that surprised me because I knew how prevalent that card was. You see them in everyone's collection. Everyone's got one EV. Everyone's got one of those Black Star EVs. But eventually, there were no EVs that I wanted to purchase for the price I wanted to purchase them for left. And so it was a sad day for me. But I sort of put a hold on my collecting of the Black Star EVs, and I decided that I'd put that aside. But there you have it. I had participated without even trying or without even attempting in my own very first market buyout of the Black Star EV promo. Now, can you go onto eBay today and get this card? Absolutely. Since that quote unquote buyout occurred, it took about a week, 2 weeks before I started seeing repopulations of this EV hit the market again. But here's the thing, once it hit the market, it wasn't hitting the market under $10 anymore. Now that there were none left on the market for under that price, the sellers, the people who wanted to sell this card, could then decide what they wanted to sell for, because there were no examples of anything to compete with. And so that just led to a little bit of a manipulation of the price, to the point where I'm not buying this card really anymore. So will I go back to buying this card? Oh, absolutely. I eventually, I look for them in collections, and it's my favorite EV card. One of my favorite Pokemon. Dragonite's my favorite Pokemon, but Eevee's certainly up there as well. And this is one of my favorite cards, absolutely, in the hobby. And so will I start buying this again? Probably. Am I done for now? Also, most likely. But that's not to say that I wouldn't buy more. So if you guys have any more, feel free. You want to shoot them to me for a good price? I'm still buying anything under $10 for this EV. Ideally, as nicely mint condition as can be, but I'll take anything. But this isn't a buying video. So anyway, I want to end it at that. I do appreciate your time here. I hope you enjoyed my little story time. And I hope you can come back again soon. So like and subscribe, please. Join the channel, join the journey here. I will be updating the website here soon once I publish it and it goes live. So sort of in the final workings of that. But I hope you can come back again and watch some more videos. So have a good day out there. Stay safe, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.